So I'm seeing multiple examples of great coaching, taking quarterbacks and coaching the reckless out of them. Darnold in Minnesota, Malik Willis in Green Bay, Justin Fields, by the way, Arthur Smith in Pittsburgh. These are talented young guys, but they can be reckless. And I'm watching these coaches. I mean, let's talk Sam Darnold. I loved him, but I always he started becoming Carson Wentz. Injuries and turnovers. What is Kevin O'Connell doing with Darnold?
Well, he's given him a lot of confidence, and he's playing very decisively. That's why he's been so good on third down. That's why he's been so good in the red zone. They're also using a lot of what I would call pure progression reads, which is kind of a Bill Walsh thing back in the day. And this is the philosophy. It's sort of the opposite of the Tom Landry philosophy. The Tom Landry philosophy was kind of like, all right, let's see what the coverage is, and that dictates where we start our progression. The Bill Walsh philosophy is, I do not care what coverage you are playing. You can try to disguise your coverage. I don't care if it's man. I don't care if it's zone. I don't care if it's blitz. I don't care. I'm going through my progression. It's a full field, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And my eyes will just like, do you like door number 1? Nah. What about door number 2? Nah. Door number 3? Sure. And like, you just keep going through it. It's like those old school sprinklers where they go, you just got to sweep the board. And it takes a lot of the thinking out of it, and you just tie the rhythm of your footwork to the progression. And so they're mixing in a good amount of that. They're also using play action on first down, where the offensive line is firing out and they're blocking run, and it creates a nice little pocket. And so the offensive line, they don't have to sit back and 7-step drop pass protection. So you're giving him time, you're giving him confidence, and that's I think you're going to see the best of Sam Darnold, in this first part of the season because of it.
For years and years, I've thought the Dallas Cowboys are a bit dysfunctional.
Okay. Well, I want to talk about Sam Darnold and the Minnesota Vikings. Listen, I love what he said there, because when you can take some of the thinking out and just let the players play, like obviously Sam Darnold, it's so spot on. When you talk to pitchers for baseball, and anytime they ever throw a no-hitter, perfect game, whatever it may be, and I know this from just personal direct experience, when the catcher, whether it's the catcher or the manager, is calling the plays, it's done in a way where you don't have to think. The pitcher doesn't have to do anything. They just get the sign, which is what the pitch they're going to throw, whether it's curveball, fastball, cutter, changeup, whatever, slider, and they just do it. And even where to do it, right? Up and in, down, down and low, whatever it may be. And it's just robotic. The best games I've ever played in my entire life have just been robotic. No matter what sport, football, basketball, soccer, baseball, doesn't matter. It's just robotic. There's no thinking. The thinking has been gone. I don't think about anything. And that's what my one coach used to say all the time. He goes, practice is when you think. Practice is when we're going to think about everything. You're going to worry about your mechanics. Where's your arm? What are you doing here? What are you doing there? Your footwork, this, that. Game time, I want you to think about nothing. It's all muscle memory. And this is what Kevin O'Connell has been able to tap into with Sam Darnold. And it's just an absolute thing of beauty. It's just an absolute thing of beauty. Sam Darnold's the MVP right now. Yeah, he is. I don't see how you could debate it, right? The only other argument I think would be Brock Purdy, but Brock Purdy lost and the Vikings won, right? So that's already now, hurting the argument, because I think Brock Purdy's playing great as well. But this is just unbelievable. And I said this, and Dallas Cowboys fans got so mad at me. They got so mad at me. I said Sam Darnold and Jefferson are the best quarterback, wide receiver duo right now. And they were like, you just lost all your credibility for saying that, blah, 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 blah. And I said, I trust Jefferson's better than CD. Sam Darnold's a better thrower of the ball than Dak, and Kevin O'Connell's a better coach. So that trio together, Kevin O'Connell, to be able to set up Darnold and Jefferson, I trust more than Mike McCarthy and Dak and CD together. And seems like that take is aging pretty well so far. We'll see how it continues to go. And just think about how the Vikings aren't even full strength yet. Just wait. Just wait until they're actually full strength. It's just unbelievable. First drive, turnover versus Texans. That's huge, right? You're at home. The fans are going insane. It's smothering. It's absolutely smothering to force that first drive turnover like that. right? And the road team already feels uneasy, right? The Texans, they already feel uneasy. The players, the coaching staff, like it's just an uncomfortable feeling. Those are the little things that championship teams do. I'm not saying that the Vikings have a one-way ticket to the Super Bowl here, but it's those things. Those things really build up character. They really build up momentum. You're gonna give Sam Darnold extra possessions, a short field, and time in the pocket. It's just game, set, match. Sam Darnold and Kevin O'Connell, you set that up with the weapons that the Vikings do have. You give them extra possessions. You give time in the pocket for Sam. It's just over. He will pick you apart, as we see. The evidence is right before us. This isn't lucky stuff here. I mean, even Darnold's movement out of the pocket, it's not desperate, right? It's not desperate. It's demonstrative. It's purposeful, right? It's done with a purpose, not out of panic. And it matters because we're seeing so many examples. Quarterback play has been so all over the place in the NFL so far. It really has been. Patrick Mahomes is the 18th best quarterback right now, I think. Right? Like he's below Baker Mayfield. It's just been quarterbacks all over been inconsistent. So you can see, to me, that's probably one of the biggest thing that comes through on the TV, at least for me personally. Sometimes it's hard to know, was this a good coaching move? Was this a good play call? Was this missed coverage? Was the defense just wrong? Right? Sometimes it's hard, right? You have to really understand the game. You have to have access to be able to see what you're seeing. That's why commentating is so important to contextualize it. But to me, confidence, you can see. You can see the body language. You can see how they're moving, the decisions that they're making. And Sam Darnold's movement is just confident. I feel bad that there's not a better word for me to say that because it sounds almost just like unfair. Just like, yeah, confident. It's like, what does that mean? It's just he does everything intentional. It's done with a purpose. And it shows. I mean, he moves out of the pocket and he throws a missile to Jefferson. It's just beautiful ball. You also know that he's continuing to be comfortable and confident because also the off the script plays are just going well, right? Sometimes when you have a bad quarterback or a backup quarterback or just a quarterback that's just not great or elite and you have a great coach, you can see that usually it's really only like the first handful of drives, the first half, right? The more scripted plays, when things are more controlled, that quarterback can survive, can play pretty well, can even win you some games. We've seen that continuously over the years with great coaches and lower. We saw that even with Kevin O'Connell, right? With some backup quarterbacks. But then it's when things go off script, when things are a little bit more chaotic. Can you be successful? Can you be controlled? It's what I always say, controlled chaos. And really the best person ever at controlled chaos is Patrick Mahomes. You have Sam Darnold now being awesome in controlled chaos in the off the script plays. And like I just keep saying as well, it's a thing of beauty. I mean, it's not like he just is throwing to wide open guys and when he doesn't miss, but he's also throwing like tight window throws. He had a touchdown in triple coverage. I mean, it's just, I don't know, man. I feel like I'm just going to keep saying the same things every single video. And I'm going to be like, they're going to just say, you're just saying the same things. And it's just because you can't re-describe perfection right now, right? You can't, if something is really perfect and beautiful, right? You can't just keep, like, there's no other way to describe it, right? Like, there's no other way. Like, you got to start failing and doing bad things for me. Like, well, you did this, you did that. That was a weird play call. That was a bad throw. You know, like, you're not giving me anything to work with. You're just really not. So it's just been so fascinating to see. I had the Texans as a top team in the NFL and CJ Stroud as a top quarterback. He was my preseason before the game, before anything even started. I might have even said this before even the draft was done. I'm not sure, but I said Jordan Love and CJ Stroud are my two, I think they have the most momentum going into this season to be MVP candidates. Obviously, Jordan Love got injured, and C.J. Stroud is playing great. He honestly is. But Sam Darnold, man, I don't know how you. And before people were saying, what about Derek Carr? And you did have to give it up to Derek Carr. But then he did not look good against the Eagles. And it's not like he didn't look good. The Eagles just played great defense. The Eagles just had, they just played great. And it wasn't enough to do anything. And you got Sam Darnold, who's just continuing to roll. And it's against good teams. I said in the beginning, we got to put this all in context. I said, this is exciting. And I showed you my track record of me saying, look how I think the Vikings will be with Sam Darnold. I showed you all my previous videos as proof, as evidence. But I said, still, I got to be real. I got to be, I got to be consistent. We're talking about beating a team like the Giants, right? We got to put this in context and yada, yada, yada. You beat the 49ers. You beat the Texans. I mean, these are two great teams, two top teams in the NFL that you beat convincingly. And again, you're not even full strength. Oh my goodness. What is the limit for the Vikings now once they get full strength? What is the limit? They look like the best team in the NFL right now. They look better than the Chiefs. You lean on the Chiefs because the Chiefs are indeed the Chiefs. It is Andy Reid. It is Patrick Mahomes. It is Spags, right? They in a lot of ways, they deserve that. I'm not a huge fan of constantly just giving someone the benefit of the doubt because of their past. But at the same time, when it is the past of them, it's hard not to, right? Patrick Mahomes is not playing good. The Kansas City Chiefs are not playing good. They could genuinely be 0-3, 1-2. Without a doubt, 2-1. There's no question about it. I think the Vikings are the only team that you can say without a shadow of a doubt are 3-0. There is no, because I keep talking about this now in videos because I think I just thought about it last night, called advanced eye test, where we have advanced analytics, we have, all these things. And I really try to look at games and really try to figure out, why is a team doing good versus why is a team doing bad, right? Was there a drop turnover? Was there a dropped interception? Was a fumble on your own 15? Was that just like a fluke? Was that like, that wasn't actually really good defense? It was just one of those things that happens, and that's not going to, you play that game 100 times over. That's not going to happen again. It's just, it's just some of these other little things that I try to figure out how I evaluate. There's some people that just say, nope, this team won. It doesn't matter how you won, and that's it. And it goes, no, that's how you confuse yourself, actually. You are what your record is. No, that's not how it works. So, no, I don't say, well, the Chiefs are 3-0. There's still takeaways. You can still say they're winning, and they're playing good situational football, and they're winning even though they're not playing their best football. That's a thing. But you could also say that about the Eagles last year, who kept winning even though they weren't playing good football, and their quarterback wasn't playing great, and their offense wasn't playing great. And how'd that work out for them? Here we have the Vikings. There's no other way to look at it. They are playing elite. They are playing top-level football, and it's not just against bad teams. So, yeah, they deserve to be seen as a true, bona fide top team in the NFL. And Sam Darnold deserves to be looked at as the MVP front runner. But those are just my thoughts. I would absolutely love to hear yours. What do you guys all think about the Minnesota Vikings? Are they a real threat in the NFC? I don't even like that question. Are they a real threat in the NFL? Let me know in the comments below. I read every single comment, so whether you agree with me or disagree with me, either way, let's get in some discussions, let's get in some fights, but ultimately, let's just have some fun. And please do consider subscribing. We are building an amazing community here, and I would absolutely love to see you part of it. I want to build something that we all genuinely feel connected to, something that we're really excited to be part of. I think we're well on our way to doing it. And please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, as it really does help with the visibility and the algorithm. Thank you so much, and see you next time.